Hi, everybody. I'm Dr. Brian Artist. This is the Dr. Artist Show, and I'm so excited to be with you this week. Actually, spend some time with you. I hope you've had a great week. There's a lot of stuff going on in the world today. No matter when you're watching this, we know there's a ton of things that you can be doing right now. Thank you for tuning in to the Dr. Artist Show. What I'm going to do today is actually do a special presentation, an entire show on why it is that spearmint, that most people don't know about, is a miraculous cure for many conditions. In fact, it is one ingredient that you will find in our biodefense product that most people don't ever talk about, spearmint. You're going to learn everything there is about why it is we included that in our formulas and why it is our mint throat spray, which is actually flavored with spearmint. The reason why we actually put this in our formulation and why it is in our biodefense product. I want to make sure that our audiences and all people who are coming to the drartistshow.com are aware of the health benefits to each singular ingredient I am specifically selecting to benefit, I'm hoping, your life, my own life, my family's life, but most importantly, all of you. So in order to build that faith and trust in those things that we're formulating for the world, I want to make sure that we're highlighting some of the things that most of you have never been told. For example, did you know that spearmint by itself is actually a known cure for arthritis, inflammation, pain in joints? In fact, in elderly, there's been many different research studies confirming it is so able to reduce inflammation and pain. It's increasing how far the elderly can walk, how much activity they can do. This is just an example, but it has many, many health benefits. In fact, I consider it magical and miraculous, all the healing benefits of spearmint. So that is what we're about to dive into, is what are some of the things you've never heard are the published miraculous cures of God's created spearmint plant and the oils that come from its leaves. All right, so here we go. We're going to dive into all the magical and miraculous healing properties of spearmint. Let's dive into this presentation. Please share this with your friends. Don't forget all of those that are looking and seeking for ways to improve their own health. We've titled this presentation, Spearmint and Its Miraculous Health Benefits. Remember, you can scan this QR code, get access to our emails. Our emails alert you to every new podcast we're doing, presentation, special interview, trusted partners with any company that's producing great products that I've been able to use personally in my home and in my own life that are helping improve your life, and that we expect to do the same. All right, let's start with Healthline Online. Here's an article. We like to make sure that people realize and recognize there are real online reputable medical journals and outfits who are publishing articles about even natural healing plants, minerals, vitamins, herbs. So here's just an article on Healthline of 11 different surprising benefits of spearmint tea and its essential oil. Number one, it's good for digestive upset. In an 8-week randomized study, and we're going to dive into these studies. This is what's different between reading these articles online. I'm actually going to take you through what are the incredible things research and science has figured out got infused in our plants around the world. In an 8-week randomized study in 32 people with irritable bowel syndrome. How many people do you know with irritable bowel syndrome? One group was given a product containing spearmint, lemon balm, and coriander, along with loperamide for diarrhea or psyllium for constipation. At the end of the study, people who received the spearmint-containing supplement reported less abdominal pain, discomfort, and bloating compared to those in the placebo group. How miraculous is that? In one study, spearmint essential oil applied to the skin significantly reduced the incidence of nausea and vomiting to a placebo group. So digestive issues and concerns, remember spearmint. Remember, our biodefense product has spearmint in it as one of the top 3 ingredients. And you take this orally to help defend against pathogens, fungi, bad microbiome, bugs in your gut that don't belong there, bacteria, yeast, parasites, you name it. We've combined several ingredients inside of here. Spearmint is one of the top 3 ingredients in that product. It's also in our throat spray. Why? It's going to go down your throat and into your gut. It's going to help actually heal issues that you have there, just like you just saw. Spearmint is also high in antioxidants. Read this highlight. 2 tablespoons, that's 11 grams of spearmint, also provides 2% of the reference daily intake for vitamin C. So spearmint contains vitamin C, another potent antioxidant. And according to researchers, spearmint shows excellent antioxidant activity against free radicals. And in one singular study, extract from this herb prevented fat oxidation in meat and was as effective as the synthetic antioxidant BHT. Antioxidants are things like vitamin C that help reduce damaging what are called free radicals. Free radicals, an example would be something like if you eat non-grass-fed beef, you might experience inflammation and pain when you eat that from something called homocysteine, which is a free radical that can get inside the blood from eating unhealthy foods. And as it goes through the bloodstream, it damages your arteries and veins, and actually is what creates the damage on the inside of your arteries and veins, is where cholesterol will start to stick to create plaquing. And truly, LDL cholesterol is there to prevent your veins from allowing from the damage of the free radicals. If we put LDL cholesterol over the injured part of the inside of the blood vessel, the plaquing is what's preventing you from bleeding internally to death. But they're going to tell you it's bad for you. It's actually a way to protect you. You just got to stop creating damage in your arteries and veins so your body stops laying it down. Spearmint is an antioxidant that helps to clear up free radicals to keep your blood, nervous system, all your organs healthy. Number 3, spearmint is also able to aid women with hormone imbalances. I hope you're paying attention, ladies. Studies in women have shown that it can decrease male hormones like testosterone. Any women with facial hair out there? Spearmint helps to reverse that. Increasing female hormones necessary for ovulation, such as hormones listed here: luteinizing hormone, follicular stimulating hormone, and estradiol, which is an estrogen. In a 30-day randomized study, 42 women with polycystic ovarian syndrome, remember this, everybody with PCOS, just so you know, the mother of my children was told because of the severity of their PCOS, they would never have children. Well, it took 2 months of detoxing her and helping improve her health to get her to where she was able to have 4 kids in 4 years. But she was told for 15 years she would never have kids because of PCOS. Remember, spearmint is a product, second ingredient in our biodefense. In a 30-day randomized trial, 42 women with polycystic ovarian syndrome who drank spearmint tea twice a day had lower testosterone levels and higher luteinizing hormone and follicular stimulating hormone levels compared to women who drank a placebo tea. So if you need to balance your hormones, make sure spearmint's a part of that, or make biodefense a part of your life, or make sure you're doing your throat spray with spearmint in it. Number 4, may reduce facial hair in women. In one 5-day study, 12 women with PCOS and 9 women with facial hair due to unknown causes were given 2 cups of spearmint tea twice a day during the follicular phase of their menstrual cycle. While the study was not long enough to determine whether spearmint affected facial hair, the women's testosterone levels reduced, which, by the way, if you lower testosterone levels in females, they stop growing facial hair. In a longer 30-day study, in 41 women with PCOS, women who drank 2 cups a day of spearmint tea reported a reduction in their facial hair. Spearmint may also improve your memory. How many of you knew that? How many of you knew that spearmint by itself could improve your memory? Well, I would like you to remember this podcast and what I'm presenting to you in this show. So you might want to make sure you're getting some spearmint if you're having a hard time remembering, because it's a lot of info. Studies have shown that mice given a spearmint extract experienced improved learning and memory, as shown by their performance on a maze test. Remember, if it happens in a mouse, it happens in a human. That's exactly what all the research scientists say. In a more recent study, older adults with memory impairment who were given daily supplements containing 900 milligrams of spearmint extract experienced a 15% improvement in their working memory. Did you know spearmint also fights bacterial infections? Well, I know you knew that because I already taught you that with our biodefense product, the Nigella sativa oil, the black seed oil, that's what it is, along with spearmint and peppermint oil. Those are the 3 main ingredients in biodefense, are all in there to fight bacterial infections like E. coli, to help us with our concerns around shedding, E. coli infections, microbiome issues in the gut, irritable bowel syndrome, you name it. UTIs, urinary tract infections, all of those ingredients handle it. So let's just learn about spearmint here. Studies have found that spearmint essential oil is effective against several types of harmful bacteria. Additionally, it's been shown to work against bacteria that cause foodborne illnesses, including E. coli and listeria. Now, I want to mention listeria. Do you guys remember that boar's head meat? In fact, I'm going to stop here. I just want to talk to you. I want to remind you, do you remember that over the last 2 months, boar's head meat that doesn't put preservatives, nitrates, sulfates in their deli meats, the FDA has told them to shut down their production of meats because they have found food poisoning of specific bacteria called listeria. And that is what they're reporting throughout the media. I want to remind you, if you didn't know about the radio shows I've done discussing this outside of our podcast shows, Listeria, as I just showed you, is cured with spearmint oil. Listeria is also cured with black cumin seed oil, and that is in our biodefense product. So if you're concerned about these things, there are already published cures for these things, and they're in nature. You don't need antibiotics. You don't have to worry about going to a hospital getting dehydrated with food poisoning. If you just have biodefense in your medicine cabinet at home, we'll call it an all-natural medicine cabinet. If you have this as a part of your all-natural medicine cabinet, this is why I believe it's so important. When I first came out with this formulation a year ago, I said, this is the one product I believe everybody should have in their medicine cabinets at home for that very reason. All right, so let's dive back into the presentation. Just want to touch on the listeria thing because E. coli has been a big focus of mine to help you and everybody around the world who's gotten vaccines for COVID, been injured, worried about shedding. They're using E. coli bacteria to spread the poisons called DNA plasmids. So I needed to make sure people knew about the benefits of the ingredients inside of biodefense to protect our audiences and people they love against concerns around shedding. But it goes way beyond that. The ingredients in biodefense, including spearmint and Nigella sativa oil, they are published to be cures for the bird flu, for example, which has been announced to be the next pandemic. You do not have to fret at all, be fearful, be anxious. There's already proven published antidotes. And for listeria poisoning, spearmint is there, E. coli also. All right, now we also know that it's actually published that spearmint can lower our blood sugar. This actually blew me away in doing this presentation. In a singular study, rats were given a spearmint extract equivalent to 9 milligrams per pound. That's 20 milligrams for every 2.2 pounds, called a kilogram, of our body weight per day. While healthy rats appeared unaffected, rats with diabetes had significantly lower blood sugar. And when they say significant, I will rehash this. When they say it's significant, it is significant. In fact, in each of these two studies I'm about to quote, I'm going to take you into those studies. Actually, I don't think I do it in this presentation, but I've gone into these studies. In each case, they were comparing spearmint oil to diabetes drugs, and the spearmint oil beat all the diabetes drugs in lowering blood sugar, more significantly lower blood sugar levels. In another 21-day study in rats with diabetes, animals given 136 milligrams per pound, or 300 milligrams for every 2.2 pounds of body weight per day of this type of spearmint extract showed a 25% reduction in blood sugar in 3 weeks. It also helps reduce stress. In South American countries, spearmint tea is commonly used to treat stress and insomnia. In one study in rats, spearmint extract was found to decrease anxiety and improve sleep. Remember, if it happens in a mouse, it's going to happen in humans. Number 9, spearmint may also improve arthritis pain. In a 16-week study, this ain't no may, by the way. I don't know if y'all know this. When they say it may, the research studies confirm it does. So here we go. In one 16-week study, this one's an awesome study. I dove into this one. In a 16-week study in 62 people with arthritis of the knee, regular spearmint tea consumed twice a day reduced stiffness and physical disability, while a spearmint tea high in rosmarinic acid, which is in spearmint, acid relieved the same symptoms and reduced pain. So I just want to remind you, there's a substance inside of mint called rosmarinic acid. It's also in rosemary. But in this one 16-week study, I want to review this real quick because I'm going to dive into it. When they gave individuals varied amounts of what's in spearmint found in other plants, they found that it reduced, in 62 people that had arthritis in their knee, regular spearmint tea twice a day reduced the stiffness and physical disability. But spearmint tea that was high in rosmarinic acid relieved the same symptoms and reduced the pain. I know this seems kind of mundane. It's not very clear. The first part of this sentence and the second are very different. The first sentence says it reduced stiffness and physical disability. When they gave those same individuals spearmint tea high in rosmarinic acid, it relieved the symptoms and reduced the pain. That means the spearmint tea actually got rid of all arthritic knee pain and all stiffness of the knee. Tell the difference? Spearmint also helps lower blood pressure. Spearmint may help lower blood pressure. In fact, one animal study, carvone, which is a component of spearmint tea and spearmint oil, was shown to be 100 times more potent at reducing blood vessel contractions than verapamil.